Last year was the year that I really got into reading and got really obsessed, and I read 22 books in a year after spending years after years reading zero books. I could not complete a book, but in this video today, I'm going to give you some series, but also a monthly wrap up that I think would really help you to start your reading journey. So I'm going to be doing a lot of series, talking about a lot of series in this video that you can start with so that you can get into the reading hobby and replace it with scrolling on social media. It is a way better break and mental break, and the community is just so fun. Like book talk, booktube, all of that is so fun. So again, I read 8 books, so I'm going to go over it right here on my iPad. So the first things first is I started a series, and it's called Divine Rivals. And I read Ruthless Vows in March, and it was honestly really, really good. I honestly liked the first book better, but I did really enjoy the second book as well. I think it was really great ending. So I highly recommend that you guys read this book. It's called Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and it was a really good book. I would highly recommend the series. I loved Divine Rivals, and the thing about March is why I read so much is because I freaking experimented. Guys, if you want to try something or you want to get into something new, don't be scared to experiment. Like, I help people grow their YouTube channels in my YouTube accountability growth group for women. And in there, the number one tip that I give people is that do not forget to freaking experiment. Okay, as a beginner, you want to experiment. And in this case, I've never read fantasy at all. Mostly romantasy, I have never in my life. So I was like, okay, I wanted to give it a shot because there's a whole bunch of hype around it. And one of the series that I was really drawn to after reading the summary was Divine Rivals. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I want to read the second book because I want to see how it ends. It is a duology, so that is going to be the last book of this kind of world. But really, really recommend it if you want to get into the romantasy world. And I think that that being my first book was really, really good. This month of March was a whole bunch of firsts. Like I had my first freaking the romantasy, and then you'll see next what was my first as well. By the way, for Divine Rivals, I gave it a 4.0. I do think that is a 4.0 series, and I think it was really good. So that is the overall rating I had. I believe for both books, I might have given Divine Rivals a higher one, but I really, really loved it. And I think why I loved the first book rather than second book, not saying the second book is bad, but the first book, it was really fast paced. I feel like it was kind of drawn out in the second book. But anyways, next book that I read was Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage. This is in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and there's 3 books out right now, but in April 2025, she is coming out with, I forgot, Wild and Wrangled, which I'm very excited for. And I read all 3 of the books in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I'm sorry, like the way she writes is just so easy. It's so light. It's a lighthearted romance, and it's really fun. Like you just want to keep reading because it's really lighthearted and you don't have to really think that much, but it's also very cute, amazing stories. And I would say they're actually pretty deep as well. So I gave this a 4.0 by Lyla Sage. So Done and Dusted. And I love the covers. Like I think this is just so cute. So yeah, I read that one as the first one, so I did it in publication order. And then the second book I read was obviously Swift and Saddled, and that's the second book of the Rebel Blue Ranch series. And when it came to this book, I gave it a 3.75. I just didn't really like their story that much. I think that was basically it. I kind of like more of a strong MMC and like main character, like male main character. And I don't think he was really giving that, in my opinion. So that was basically that. Now, I give that a 3.75. It's not my favorite. I would say it's my last favorite. I think Done and Dusted was my second favorite, and my first favorite was the third book, which I did not read after I read The Swift and Saddled because I was like, I need a break. Like, if you're ever thinking that, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting tired of reading, try a freaking different, like, category. Try a different category. Try fantasy, and then go to romance, and then go to thriller. So after reading 2 romance books by Lyla Sage, I was like, okay, I'm going to do a little break. Like, I'm going to try something different. And what I tried is I tried my first thriller book ever, and I'm so glad I took the leap. I was kind of scared because I don't like scary stuff. I don't like horror movies. I don't like being surprised, like no. So the first thriller book that I read is The Perfect Marriage, and this book was insane. For the first book, I was like, wow. Why I say this is a good first book is because it's really easy to read. It's really easy to understand. A lot of people rated this book really low because of the story. I'm like, guys, it's a fictional story. I don't care how, like, if you don't like what's happening, that's the point of it being an emotionally intensive story. I ultimately gave it a 3.75 because I despised the ending. Despised the ending so much. I hated it. But she's making a second book, so I'm hoping to, like, she's making a second book that's coming out in April, so I'm hoping to get my satisfying ending I have been waiting for. But yeah, that one was a 3.75, and it was a really good book. It's basically just about the wife finds out about her husband's mistress, and basically he goes on trial for being the number one suspect to unaliving the mistress. And did I mention that the mistress got unalived? Yeah, the mistress got unalived, and he's the first like suspect because like she got unalived literally at his freaking like second house, like at his lake house, I think. So that's basically what happened, and it was a really good book. And basically the wife had to defend him. Okay, so the mistress got unalived at his lake house, and the wife found out but also defended him because she is a freaking the top attorney in the area, right? So that was really interesting. After I got out of that, then I went back to the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and that's where I read Lost and Lassoed. Lost and Lassoed was my favorite one. This was my favorite one. Guys, by the way, I have never read a cowboy romance in my life, like ever. And like when I finally read it, I was like, oh my gosh, I love the small town vibes. I just love it, right? And because it's very different from my life. So I like seeing kind of how that plays out. And I gave this a 4.0, but honestly, I would give it a 4.25 for sure. It was really awesome. So, the next book that I read is The Housemaid by Frieda McFadden. And guys, this is my first Frieda book I have ever read. She is very hyped, and a lot of people love her book. So, I was like, let me give it a shot. So, I read The Housemaid. And guys, when I tell you, that book was insane. The plot twists were plot twisting. And first you're like, wait, what's happening? This is why I love thriller. It's like it has you questioning and really keep your mind engaged. So I like reading Frieda's books whenever I need like a quick read. I literally read her book in 2 days or less. Like I just need to get through it. I need to find out the ending. And if you really want a quick read and you want to add some books onto your like monthly reads, get yourself into some thriller, and specifically Frieda McFadden. So I gave that a 4.25 because if any book keeps me emotionally engaged, I'm going to give it a high rating. Like that's what gives me the opportunity to give like books high ratings is like when I get emotionally involved, whether that's me questioning, whether that's me being on like a high of wonder, like if it makes me sad, makes me cry, like the more emotion it brings out of me, the higher rating I give it. So that might be a weird way to do it, but that's how I do it. And then I was traveling this freaking month, so I got to read on the plane and in the airport, and I'm actually making a whole separate vlog and video on doing a 24-hour challenge at the airport while traveling. So if you want to watch that video, I'm going to put it up here. But anyways, the book I read at the airport, I gave it a 3.5. I was on a Frieda high, so I read The Teacher by her. This is one that she published recently, and I liked it. It was a 3.5, but it wasn't my favorite. I have only read two, so I shouldn't even say that, but it was really good, and I was really surprised by the plot twist. So it didn't have me as grasped on as The Housemaid, but nevertheless, it was a really good, quick read, and I did read it in like 2 days. Like 2 days or less. So 10 out of 10 for that, right? And then the last book I read was actually a nonfiction book, and it was a book that I've been working on for a while. And it's Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I have been reading this for a while. I've been wanting to read it, like finish it. And it's just a book that is really, really, really deep, and it has okay, I don't want to say it's deep. It's a really easy read, but I really wanted to process and embody the lessons inside of it. And that's exactly what I did. I'm happy that I took a good amount of time on it. So it's basically a book on how to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny, and basically to master yourself, right? So I really loved the book, and I took notes on a lot of things that I'm going to start implementing. And I just love reading nonfiction books. My goal for this month is to really get into experimenting more and also reading nonfiction books. So I appreciate you guys. If you found value from this freaking video, make sure to comment down below what is one book you're looking forward to reading that I mentioned in this video, or that you added into your TBR, which is a to be read list. So I appreciate you guys, and if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on, because I post videos like this every single day on this YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.